Hello, welcome back to the Storehouse Farm. I am going to be making a Goldenrod Salve today. My son has really bad dry skin this winter. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure if it's actually eczema, but this salve is hopefully going to help with that. So I thought I would bring you along with me. The hardest part is just waiting and being patient for your foraged plant to sit in the olive oil. So I'm going to show you the things that we need. We'll make it together. You need a foraged plant that's been soaking in oil. Like I said, olive oil is really great. Mixing spoon. And it's best to have one that is set aside for this purpose. Also, I think this came from my in-laws' house. So Bruce and Denise, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I have your spoon. Cooling rack, double broiler situation. Double broiler. Something that heats up water and something that holds your ingredients that melts above the water. This is my tincture pot. I only use it for these types of things. I'm not using it in my everyday kitchen. I would recommend finding something. I'm sure I just woke up the baby. At your thrift store. See, $4 at the thrift store. And this one doesn't matter. It's just gonna have water. A mesh strainer or cheesecloth would be great. Hot pad. A label so you don't get your tinctures mixed up. Something to write on your label. Got scissors, just beeswax. These are beeswax beads. They kind of look like a beeswax Dippin' Dot. Making something for your skin to help with your dry skin. How's that sound? Shea butter.
Lotion too.
Yeah.
Lotion.
Yeah, it is like lotion, which looks like this. This shea butter is optional. You can always use more beeswax. You can also use an essential oil to add to the smell or effects of your salve. I don't love the way the goldenrod smells on its own, so I might add some lavender to it. A container to put your salve in. I have a 4 ounce and a 1 ounce. Just I like to make different sizes. I'll make a bigger one for our family, and then this size is really good to give as gifts, especially if you're not sure if someone is into using natural remedies for themselves. Goldenrod has a lot of really good benefits for allergies. A lot of people think that goldenrod is actually the cause of their spring and summer allergies, but really that's ragweed. Goldenrod is a tall, yellow flowered plant. It's easy to identify, which is really great if you are a novice or beginning forager like me. So once you've identified correctly, found goldenrod, you're gonna wanna make sure that it is not in an area that has been sprayed with pesticides. You don't wanna put pesticides on your skin. Finding a patch of goldenrod that you know for a fact has not been sprayed is not on private property unless you've been given permission. And you're also gonna wanna make sure you're not taking too much of the plant. You just wanna take what you need, leave the rest for pollinators, reseeding, other people, etc. So found goldenrod, tie it up, hang it upside down on a dry spot, wait for a few weeks. The longer you wait, the drier it'll be. And then you are ready to start the prepping process. Once you're sure it's dry, you are going to crumble off the leaves and add them to an airtight jar with oil. I like to use olive oil because that's something that I usually have on hand. And you're gonna set it away in a dark spot and forget about it. The longer you forget about it, the more potent your olive oil will be. This mixture of olive oil and goldenrod has been sitting for several months. This is the recipe we're gonna use. I will make sure to flip it and show you so you can take a screenshot of it. But we've got 1 cup of infused olive oil that we're gonna use, about 4 tablespoons of the beeswax beads, 2 tablespoons of the shea butter, and then a few drops of essential oil. Here is this recipe if you want to take a screenshot. I forgot to add, that would be really helpful, is something that you are going to strain your infused olive oil into. I'm just gonna use a measuring cup. If you're doing something like you're making a lavender salve, the mesh strainer will be great. Portion that you're using, like the petals, are big enough that they don't go through. Goldenrod kind of has more of a feathery flower once it's dried, especially, and it could slip through, which isn't the end of the world. But just something to keep in mind. Woo. Let me make sure to get every drop in there. Okay. Here's what I've got. It is about, it's a little bit more than a cup. Now what I'm gonna do is add water, probably about 2 inches to this pot. And I'm gonna get this going on medium-high heat on the stove. And I'm gonna start adding the ingredients to my double broiler. Water's warming up down here. This is where all my ingredients are gonna go. I'm just gonna do a single batch just because I have just over 1 cup. So here's my cup of goldenrod infused olive oil. Four tablespoons. This is a half tablespoon measuring, so I need 8 of these. 1, 8, 1 for good luck, why not? And then I want to add about 2 tablespoons of this shea butter. Scoop it out like this. Again, you don't have to use the shea butter. If you weren't going to use the shea butter, I would recommend doing a little bit more beeswax, like a tablespoon or 2. Now we're not going to add the lavender essential oil yet because I don't want it to boil off or melt off or heat off, I guess is the right word. I am just going to stir until this melts and everything is incorporated. The steam from the water underneath is heating up the ingredients to melt them together, and it really shouldn't take too long. While that's melting, I want to stir it every once in a while. I definitely don't want it to burn, but I'm going to go ahead and get my jars out. I'm going to put the cooling rack on top of the cloth. I'm probably going to try to make 2 of the larger ones for our family, just because I have a feeling we'll go through it. And then I think it will make 3 or 4 of the 1 ounce jars. And give it another stir. Turn the heat up a little bit more. Now that I've got the jars set out, or the tins set out, I'm gonna go ahead and make my labels. Just use like whatever tape I have. And you really wanna make sure to label it because you don't wanna get them mixed up. Really be a bummer if you thought you were giving a lavender salve to a friend and you gave them goldenrod and they were allergic to goldenrod. Turned it up a little bit more because I'm impatient and need to get dinner started, but this is what it's looking like now. I'll remove this from the heat and stir in my lavender essential oil. I just put in 7 drops. There was really no rhyme or reason to that. Give it a quick stir. Make sure it's evenly incorporated. Okay, that was plenty. I don't have a pour spot on my pan, and that's fine. But I'm just gonna wanna do it slowly. The tins get hot very quickly. The last time I did this, I just poured it on the towel and then moved it to the cooling rack, and I burnt my fingertip. Now I've got a little bit left. I'm gonna go back through, top off the smaller ones. If some reason it's taking a little bit of time to pour up your tins and it starts to solidify again, just put it back over the water. It's probably still hot, and let it melt again. 4 of these for 1 ounces, and 2 of these 4 ounces. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 ounces total. 1 cup. Look at that. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that the math behind that is however much olive oil infused, or however much foraged plant infused olive oil you have is about what you will end up with. Here's what they look like. They're still very wet. You can kind of see, especially in this one, those like feathery flowers from the goldenrod. Had I used a cheesecloth, would have definitely come out, but not something that bothered me. One-ounce tins are already really starting to look set. The 4-ounce ones are gonna take a little while, obviously. Someone just woke up, so we're gonna go. But I think I'm supposed to say thank you for watching, and if you end up making this, let me know what you end up infusing in your olive oil. We're always looking for new things to hunt and forage for and to use. You think it'll help? Yeah, I think so.
Can we put
too.
it on here?
No, it's for your itchy spots.
Doesn't smell like anything.
But I put lavender drops in it.
Those are lavender.
That way it would smell a little bit better.